friends, it's Dwight. I was gonna say welcome back to my studio, but I'm in my car. I'm not driving. I'm sitting in the parking lot here at Michael's, and I'm gonna pick up some canvases today. It's buy one, get two free, so need to stock up a little bit and get some paints. So now today, I'm gonna be using a repurposed canvas. I did a painting yesterday. I tried an experiment, it didn't work, so I scraped it off. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be using some reds, browns, oranges, and creams today, and some gold maybe, sort of a neutral palette. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna be using my strainer again since we've been doing that most recently. We'll see how that turns out. And yeah, so I'm gonna get to my studio in just a few minutes here. I gotta drive home, have lunch, and then I'm gonna mix up my paints and we'll show you what we got. Okay guys, stay tuned and I'll be back in about 2-3 seconds. Okay, here we are. Paints are all mixed and ready to go. That last clip of you watching me in my studio, yeah, that's how messy my space is. I will show you this and please don't judge, but those are all my paints. I don't have them organized. I know it's there. I buy and then I use what I buy. I don't keep a stockpile and I don't pre-mix. I mix everything right before I pour. There's my dump paint. So this right here is Rich Espresso. It's from Dazzling Metallics. And this is, I think a red, I think it's Extreme Sheen. This is Pearl White, that's Dazzling Metallics. This is Copper, Dazzling Metallics. And this is the only one that doesn't have any metallics in it. It's, of course, yellow and a little bit of red. And this is my Artist Loft Soft Body White. And again, there's no metallics in there as well. And yeah, so we're gonna use my strainer again today. We're gonna do a pour and we'll just get started here in just a second. Okie dokie, here we are back at the canvas. It is ready to go. I know I scraped a previous pour. It's a little bit messy there in my studio. So before we get started, I just want to let you know I am doing my voiceover here outside. So you may hear an airplane or birds or even just the fountain in the background. So I'm doing sort of a neutral-ish palette, sort of in the browns and yellows and oranges type of color palette. So I'm just slowly here adding the colors. This is being poured in real time. I did not speed this up. When I'm using a lot of the same sort of tones in a pour, I want to make sure there is some contrast. So like you see, I put that sort of orange up against that sort of copper color. And then again, doing some of this white, this is the Pearl White, and putting this in between, again, some of the colors. Now, if you watch, the next color will push a lot of that white out. Which makes a really cool design. It's almost retro. Reminds me of the colors of a couch I had growing up in the 70s. Yeah, I know, a long time ago. So I think it's always good when you're doing this pour to have an idea of A, of course, the colors you want to use, and B, needing to know the consistency, making sure that's right, but also the order and how you want to pour your colors. You may have a bunch of beautiful colors, but a couple things could happen. If they're not opposite on the color wheel and they're side by side, I'm sorry, let me reframe. If they're side by side and not opposite, you'll get a better result. If they're opposite on the color wheel, you take the risk of getting mucky brown or an ugly sort of olivey greenish color. So just pay attention to the colors that you use. These colors are all complementary, so I didn't have to worry too much about how to stack them up. Since I had the browns and sort of the reds and the oranges and the creams. So again, just slowly stacking these colors, getting close to the bottom here. So I was trying to figure out what order to pour the rest of these colors in. Some of this sort of golden yellow. Then the rest of the red. I was worried at first that I had too much left over, that it would cause a lot of red to be in this painting. And then I'll just top it off with the red, last but not least. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I can see that the puddle is slightly pulling to the right on your screen. That can be because of the weight of the paint. And sometimes I worry that it is indicative of a warped canvas, even though I've tightened it up with a little bit of a mist of water. So I took a moment here to clean off my stir stick, of course, and to let the paint spread out. I wanted it to spread out as much as it could before I go ahead and dump the black paint on top. Okay, so let's slowly take this off. Reminds me of Thanksgiving. Okay, here we go. So I poured ever so slightly off center, primarily because I'm going to be tilting to the lower left corner to start this pour. Again, I did not speed this up. This is the actual speed of doing this pour. As you can see, just take your time. It's like it's almost going to go over the top edge there. And then just slowly bring it to the edge. I remember looking at the canvas thinking at this point that not too many pearls were coming up. So you see me tilt like that because I want to move the composition towards the top edge. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I sometimes will tilt in that direction, then bring it back and do that last corner and then sort of bring it back in a diagonal way because you want the weight to be close to the center of your canvas as possible. So again, I was just starting to watch the pearls come up. I was feeling a bit more confident. And we're going to put on time lapse here in just a moment. And I did move my camera up closer so you can see the pearls sort of pop up. By the time I got it going, you can see there was a lot already on the page. Okay, so what we're going to do here in just a moment is the very first walkthrough. Walking into the room after it's been sitting for about an hour or so. Okay guys, here we are with the first look. I love that it's very neutral and it's very subtle, but you can still see some of the composition there. I have some very interesting pearls I'll show you. I wanted to make a comment, which I didn't make earlier, is that extreme sheen in this type of pour tends to make some very interesting shaped pearls. As you can see, some of them have all kinds of interesting designs. Now, negative space is looking good. I will probably just correct a couple. Make them round. That's about it. And I think we're going to be done. This will be a quick one. So I'm going to let it dry and we'll take a look at it first thing in the morning, guys. Why it's not focusing? There we go. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look at it and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, here we are. It is all dry. It's the next morning. And I like the composition here, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to work with these pearls that are, see how they're stretched out, look like they're pulling. I'm just going to round them, make them look a little bit more complete, a little bit more symmetrical. See, as you can see right there. And then I'll show you the comparison. Okay, so I'm going to set my camera up again so you can watch. I'll just do it on a time lapse, so it'll be really quick. But you'll be able to see how I'm working in this area here. Okay, guys, hold on. Let me set things up and we'll do some touch-ups. Okie doke, just a quick touch-up here. If you notice some of those pearls in the lower left, they kind of are being pulled over towards the edge. So I just rounded them to make them nice and crisp and clean. And that's basically all I did with this pour. Don't be afraid to get in there and just sort of clean up certain areas if you can. And okay, let's look at the final results. Okay, friends, here we are. We are all done. I trimmed up a few of these pearls that were sort of elongated and moving in a certain direction. I didn't round all of them. I didn't want to make it look too obvious to take away from the composition, but I'll move in and I'll show you what I did. First, I'm going to show you some of these just unique pearls. Like I said, Extreme Sheen tends to pearl with these interesting sort of, I call them leopard pearls. I'm not quite sure what to call them. So there's the negative space. I didn't dot anything. I just rounded and cleaned up the edge. Nice reaction. Okay, friends, so I mentioned in the last video, I think, I was gonna do something sort of beachy. So I was waiting for my colors to arrive. So they've come in. I've got this nice teal, very light. I'm gonna use turquoise. I've got some cream and gold and some light purple, and we'll see what else I need. So we're gonna do this size canvas, 24 by 36, and you'll be seeing that really soon. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.